Hey, Jim Crackton here. Today we're taking a journey to the iconic city of San Francisco. Most know that nearly the entire city was leveled in the earthquake of 1906, but what did it look like before that? This is the northeast corner of Montgomery and Pine Streets in 1868. This would only be a few decades after the city really became a city after the gold rush of 1849. So ride along with me as we explore pre-earthquake San Francisco on this episode of The Crackton Files. I tried to figure out what Boyd's was on the sign, but it was hard to nail down. It might have been tobacco because Valentine leaf was a common leaf. Any ideas? Leave a comment and let me know. Today the corner is a little bit different. Here's a circus parade for Ringling Brothers Circus in 1900. It was started by 5 German brothers in 1884. They became one of the largest circuses in the United States in the late 19th and early 20th centuries. They would acquire the Barnum and Bailey Circus in 1919, which was created by the famous P.T. Barnum in 1870. He had died long before this in 1891. The full Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey Circus only closed for good in 2017. I'm not sure what this James Lick sign is advertising, but Lick was a real estate investor, carpenter, piano builder, and very into science. It might be for the Lick Observatory built in 1887. He died in 1876 as the wealthiest man in California and left all his money into a foundation for the public good, which built the observatory. Jolon Station and the Dutton Hotel here in 1900 was a critical point of travel along the El Camino Real road between San Francisco and Los Angeles. The hotel was built in 1876 by George Dutton, a Union Army veteran. The building to the left is a general store. The hotel closed in 1929 and the land was acquired by William Randolph Hearst, the newspaper giant. It's not known who this lady is, but she may have been a member of the Dutton family or a store clerk.
Hello. Welcome to Jolon Station. Do you need provisions?
Today there's some historical ruins at the location. Union Square began as a sandy clearing in the 1850s intended for civic events. The name came from gatherings of Union supporters during the Civil War. The tall building with the dome was the Call Building, which was destroyed by the earthquake. Post-earthquake, this area remained a park and eventually became the mostly hardscape plaza it is today. Here's Market Street in 1890. One unusual feature of the street is how wide they made it, which was much wider than most American cities. Market Street and much of San Francisco's streets were first surveyed in 1847. Much of these buildings you see would be destroyed. What's not clear to me is how the photographer got this shot. Somehow we're high above almost the center of the street, so I'm not sure where the photographer exactly was. This close-up of the signage shows that San Francisco was a major financial and speculative hub of the Pacific Coast, with all that real estate action. Here is Lotta's Fountain, which was donated to the city by Lotta Crabtree in 1875, only 15 years earlier. She was a hugely popular 19th century actress who became one of the wealthiest entertainers of the time. She was only 4 foot 9 inches tall and was a comedian, acrobat, and musician. She passed in 1924, but her fountain still stands today. From that cigar, she looks like quite a saucy lady. The wharves of San Francisco were central to the city's economics. They were built on tidal flats and bay mud on tens of thousands of timber piles. Much of the wharf infrastructure was destroyed by the earthquake, though it was so important that it was quickly rebuilt. Check out this big wooden pile driver derrick. They were steam-powered machines driving wooden piles into the mud. The city was constantly extending the wharf, even next to this ship. This photo was taken from a photo card that was rushed out after the 1906 earthquake. Many photo card producers looked through their inventory and found pre-earthquake photos to jump on the demand for photos of the city. Looks like this streetcar is headed for Hayes and Stanyon Streets, which is at the edge of Golden Gate Park. And here's the spot today. The Sutro Baths opened in 1896 and were a huge saltwater swimming complex at Ocean Beach. They survived the earthquake and continued to operate. The complex burned in a massive fire in 1966. Pretty cool giant slides. In 1899, Admiral George Dewey visited San Francisco after the Spanish-American War. The temporary arch was a ceremonial structure to welcome him. Dewey didn't live in the city. He was on a victory tour, and San Francisco was eager to be seen as a nationally recognized city. Chinese people started immigrating to San Francisco around 1849, driven by the California Gold Rush. They provided much of the labor for the city's infrastructure. The earthquake destroyed nearly all of Chinatown, which was rebuilt in the same location. We have a meat wagon with likely either beef or pork delivering in an open wagon in 1892. Of course, this predates modern food sanitation laws, with no refrigeration and an open bed exposing the meat.
This 1892 traffic is outrageous.
Golden Gate Park was created in the 1860s as an answer to New York's Central Park, originally just wind-blown sand dunes. The structure in the background is the Conservatory of Flowers, opening in 1879. The park was largely spared any damage from the earthquake. The conservatory was damaged when all the glass shattered, but didn't collapse and was able to be repaired. The building still exists today.
Look, Mummy! 2025!
The conservatory today is still a beautiful spot. We'll wrap up our time journey here on the beach in 1902. This version of the Cliff House was built in 1896 after a fire destroyed an earlier structure. The building survived the 1906 earthquake, only to be destroyed by fire in 1907. Another version was built in 1909, but was considerably more boring. Ocean Beach was a popular spot, easily reachable by the 1870s from regular streetcar service. Well, I hope you enjoyed visiting pre-earthquake San Francisco. Please leave a comment and don't forget to subscribe to not miss our next excursion. And I'll see you in the next quaking episode of The Crackton Files.